Mrs Lowry Son is certainly an interesting film. This was released in 2019. It's directed by Adrian. It's written by Martyn, Hesford, and we have a cast including Timothy Spall as L.S. Lowry and Vanessa Redgrave as Elizabeth Lowry. And the fact that the title focuses on Mrs Lowry and Son, it kind of gives an indication of the fact that this is focusing not necessarily more on Lowry's mother, Elizabeth Lowry, but certainly she is the main focus. It's about Lowry's relationship with his mother, and his mother is certainly, at least in the film, a very interesting, well-written, strong character. I don't know how accurate the character is to the true individual, but I haven't read anything to the contrary, so I'm assuming it's a pretty accurate interpretation of the individual. And as a story, honestly, it's slow. It's really, really slow. But because the character writing is so strong and the performances are so good, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the fact that the pacing wasn't the best. It took quite a while for anything to happen, really. That being said, I might enjoy the narrative more. The slowness might not have bothered me as much if I were a fan of Lowry's work. I'm not really a fan of Lowry's style. I don't think it's bad. Obviously, he's not a bad artist, but the style just doesn't appeal to me personally, so I've never paid too much attention to his works or his life. If I were perhaps, I guess, more knowledgeable about Lowry, there might have been specifics in the story that maybe would have meant more to me. So I'm willing to admit that while I would still think it's slow, I might have got more out of the narrative if I were actually a fan of Lowry. So that's certainly worth bearing in mind. But it's definitely more of a character-driven film, which is not a criticism. There are many strong character-driven films. Visually, it is stunning. It is so beautiful to look at. The outdoor scenes are gorgeous. The house itself is beautiful. I don't know how accurate it is to Lowry's mother's real house, but certainly it looks brilliant. Their relationship is really fascinating, really believable, and I came away from it feeling quite satisfied with the experience. Absolutely willing to admit that I might have got more out of the film if I was particularly a fan of Lowry, but I still found it to be an enjoyable experience. So if you're a fan, you'll probably enjoy it even more. That being said, you might go in with specific expectations, so maybe not. I'd be very keen to know how you find it if you watch it. And all things considered, I was pretty happy with the experience. Mrs Lowry Son is certainly not a bad film. And if you're curious, I'd say it's definitely worth checking out. If you're looking for a biopic of Lowry's life, this is not going to be that film. It's not the most comprehensive in that regard. Certainly, I didn't expect that going into it. So again, that's not a criticism, just worth pointing out that if you want to watch this to learn all about Lowry, this isn't that film. I don't know if there are any biopics of Lowry. There is apparently a film called A Simple Man from 1987 with Christopher Gable as Lowry. I don't believe it's a feature film. I feel like it's more of a... Well, the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra are part of the cast list, so there's not a lot of information on IMDb, but certainly there is something else out there if you want to learn more. I don't think I'll be checking that out unless somebody really highly recommends it. Either way, I do recommend Mrs Lowry Son. It's an interesting film. I learned a lot. I don't feel like I've learned everything about Lowry's life, but that's not what I was expecting from the film. The performances are great. The narrative is a little slow. Visually, it's a beautiful film. And ultimately, I thought it was a decent experience, and I'm certainly happy to recommend it.